All right, looks like we got people jumping on, so we will go ahead and get started. Hello, Dina. Sorry, I couldn't see if that was an E or what that was there. Got a little bit of a glare on my screen because of the light. Deanna, hello, Susan from the UK. Susan, always good to see you. Charlene, hello. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Since we got people jumping on, don't want to waste anybody's time. Hello to Facebook. Hello to those watching on YouTube after the fact later this in the week. If you don't know what this is my weekly Monday night Facebook Live. What am I doing? Hangout. I jump on here just about every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, just to catch up with you guys, say hello, see what you guys are up to, and then I give you quick rundowns slash updates on books that I'm reading, movies and TV shows that I'm watching, and then most importantly, projects that I am working on, whether that be in the writing space, the audio space, the video stuff, anything. I'm going to let you guys know about it. Any promotions or anything happening with any of my work, you guys will be some of the first to know about it, which I do have something to announce at the end of this video if you have not seen it already on my Facebook page or in my newsletter. But we'll get to that in a little bit. But that's what we do. It's been a lot of fun. This is episode 143. So we have obviously been doing this for a long time. So please jump into the comments, say hello, and ask a question if you want to. Join the community. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing this. So we will go ahead and dive in and get started. What am I reading? So I just finished day before yesterday. I finished reading, or was it yesterday? I don't remember. I finished reading The Midnight Library, which I talked about last week, which was by Matt Haig, I believe. And it was fun. I mean, it was a very fast, easy read. It was a story that, you kind of knew how it was going to end, but it was kind of one of those feel good, uplifting, just, kind of simple literary tales. I enjoyed it. I thought it had a very clever spin on a story that we've all kind of seen and heard before. But I did like the approach. I liked the structure of the story. I was very entertained by it, 100% entertained. I read it very quickly. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It was a very light, fun read, and it had a good message. I'll leave it at that, but it did explore some themes that pop up a lot, and it was a very interesting perspective on it. So if you want a fun, fast, easy read that has a little bit of heart to it, I do recommend The Midnight Library. I can see why it won the Goodreads Choice Awards or whatever they call those for fiction this year. I could see why it would appeal to the masses quite a bit, but I enjoyed it. I then jumped right into reading Andy Weir's new book, which is called Hail Mary. Andy Weir is the guy that wrote The Martian, which was that blockbuster book that came out several years ago that they made the movie out of with Matt Damon, which was also a lot of fun. He had a book that came out a couple years ago. I think it's maybe been about 2 years ago, called Artemis, which was, I guess, his second novel. And I did not like that one as much. It started out good, then it kind of got a little bogged down in some of the technical stuff for me. It was all right, but it wasn't nearly as good as The Martian, in my opinion. This one is called Hail Mary. I'm only about 15% into it, but I am already really enjoying it. It's got a very nice flow to it. It has some of these comedic elements almost that kind of remind me a lot of The Martian right off the bat. Andy Weir does not write dense or heavy prose. It's very light, very fun, very easy. And I like it. I like his technique. It's a lot of fun, and he's a very smart guy. I mean, this dude. I mean, if you read The Martian, you know that he puts a lot of science into these stories, but he does it in a way that usually is entertaining and doesn't bog the story down. Even though it did kind of for me in Artemis, but so far this one's been fun. So we'll see how it goes. Again, I'm very early. I'm only like 15% into it. But I have been enjoying it so far. But I'll probably knock that out pretty quick. I think it's going to be another, kind of like The Midnight Library. I think it's going to be a fairly easy and fun read. But I'll keep you guys updated in that regard. And in terms of what am I watching, not anything different here than what I mentioned last week. I have still not watched any new movies. Just kind of been watching TV shows. I've been working a lot, been working on a lot of different things, and we've had some stuff going on here that's taken up some of our time. So My wife and I are just kind of watching the TV shows that come on weekly. We're still watching Breeders season 2 on FX. We're still watching The Mighty Ducks on Disney Plus, which I just love. I keep talking about that, but as a kid that grew up watching those movies, I just think this is so fun. We have watched now 2 episodes of The Innocent, which is on Netflix, based on the Harlan Coben novel of the same name. And that was actually really fun. Episode 1, kind of ends in a cliffhanger, and then this is not a spoiler. And then episode 2, you pick up and you don't even see like the main guy or any of the characters that you saw from episode 1. You go all the way through episode 2, and then at the end, the 2 episodes kind of meet at the same point. And you're like, oh, okay. And then you're confused all over again because you don't know how these 2 things relate. So it's very Harlan Coben-y. If you've ever read any of his books, I made that word up, Harlan Coben-y, by the way. If you know how his books are, you expect this kind of stuff, the twists and the turns and the, what's going on, and then the big reveal. It's a lot of fun. It works well on television also. But we're watching that, and then very excited about this. I mentioned this last week, and we did watch it. Apple TV dropped the first 2 episodes of season 2 of Mythic Quest, which is a comedy about a video game company. I think this show is just brilliant. It's so much fun. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Silicon Valley, which was on HBO, but it's not as crude or vulgar, not quite as nerdy. It's fun. It's a little lighter, but I enjoy it. My wife likes it too, so it's a fun show. But that's really it for what I'm watching. I have also started playing a video game with my buddy Jason. It's a co-op game called It Takes Two, which is funny because that's the only way you can play this game is with 2 people. We've been playing that online on PlayStation. That's been a lot of fun. Actually, we haven't played video games together in a while, cooperatively. So that's been kind of a nice break in the late evenings when we get some time. But check that out if you like video games and you have a friend to play with. It's pretty fun. I think you can do couch co-op and online. But anyway, okay. So that's really what I've been doing the past week. Again, I've been working on a lot of different stuff, even kind of through the weekend, which I'll talk about now. So with the new book, making a lot of really, really good progress. In fact, I added about another 4,000 words today to that novel. So that is really exciting. I'm getting very, very close to the end. I have sat down a couple times in the last. My screen just went black. I don't know if I'm actually still live or if it cut off completely. It just says I'm having trouble playing this video. Somebody shoot a comment if you can still see me, and I'll keep talking. If you guys can't see me, I'll stop. But my screen just went black, so I'm going to wait a second to see if I get a response from anybody here. Okay. Lorraine can still see me. So apparently my video screen just went black for some reason, but I'm going to keep going. So I'm making a lot of progress. I have sat down with my iPad a couple times and like really tried to fine tune and like structure how the last few chapters are going to play out. So getting very, very close to finishing this novel. I don't want to put a time frame on it, but I'm very happy with where I'm at, and I think it's going to be fairly soon that I'll get the first draft done, which is really cool. Very excited to finish this one, and I'm really excited for you guys to read it because it is such a new story and a little bit of a new take for me, a new I guess almost like a new genre for me to write compared to what I've been doing with Lance for about the last 5 years or so. But that's getting closer, so hopefully you guys are excited for that. The next thing that I spent a lot of time working on this past weekend, and this kind of piggybacks off of something I mentioned, I believe it was last week in our Facebook Live, and that is audiobooks and the control that I have been able to regain of almost all of my audiobook rights. This is not just something that I've been doing. It's something that I'm seeing a lot of other authors in the independent author, self-published author community start to do because of the way the technology is changing and some of the different tools that we're getting now. I showed you guys that I'm giving away the first Lance Brody novella, Dark Beginnings. as a free giveaway to anybody that signs up for my newsletter. So I'm able to offer that to you guys now as an audiobook, not just a ebook, but the full-blown audiobook you guys can get completely for free. I've also put that up on YouTube, which is cool. But here's the thing that I kind of finally got implemented this weekend. I'm now able to sell audiobooks directly from my website. And I don't mean just like linking off to the other stores like Audible and Apple and Google. It's my own independent store for audiobooks that you guys can make the purchase directly from me on my website, and you will get the book delivered to you, a link to download it in your email from BookFunnel, which is the same company that I use to supply all of my giveaways. It's who I give out the early reader copies to people when I have new books coming out. It's how I gave away the free books for my newsletter subscribers. It's a really, really robust and popular service. And they've now integrated with some storefronts to allow us authors to be able to sell our audiobooks that we have the full rights to you guys. Now, this is kind of a win-win. I'm going to be doing a full YouTube video on this later for anybody that's writing or in the author space that's interested, or if you're just curious. But basically, the royalty rates for audiobooks kind of suck from the traditional stores. Us as authors, we don't get a ton of money from audiobook sales. It's not bad, but it could be a lot better. By bypassing those stores and kind of stepping outside those ecosystems, we sell them ourselves now, and we get a lot more of the royalty. So we're earning more for our work, which is the important thing. It's what allows us to keep our businesses alive and keep creating new content. So by me being able to do this to you guys, it's good for me, but it's also really good for you because of the fact that you guys are getting these books directly from BookFunnel, directly from me. You're not locked into any type of ecosystem either. You can literally use the instructions that BookFunnel sends you, and you can either listen to the books right in a web browser on any of your computers, on your smart devices. You can download BookFunnel's app just like you would the iTunes app or the Audible app. Play it in there from your library. It is really, really, really fascinating how they've managed to pull this off. Basically, you guys can do whatever you want with these files. You can literally download the files if you want and stick them on any device that you have. They're completely DRM free. There's no rights, no blockage of any type of software blocking or anything. They're completely yours. So it's good for us, the authors, because we can kind of get a little more on top of a sale, which helps us keep going, and you guys have complete control over it. And it's cheaper too. I'm selling audiobooks for basically $9.99 for a Lance book. And if you go on the Audible, if you're not a subscriber paying $15 a month for one credit, you're paying anywhere from $17 to $20 sometimes just for one audiobook, which is ridiculous. And again, the author's not getting very much of that. So there's a lot more to this. I am going to talk about this more in a video because I think it's something that's very interesting that more authors should be aware of that are out there. But long story short, if you're interested in maybe looking at getting some audiobooks of mine, if you go over to my website, mrobertsonjr.com, and click on audiobooks at the top, you can see where you can get them. However, this week only, I mentioned this on my Facebook page earlier, and I sent out a newsletter earlier to kind of celebrate this and test the waters and say thank you to you guys for the support. As always, you can actually get the first 3 Lance Brody books, the novella, Dark Beginnings, Dark Game, the first novel, and Dark Sun, the second novel. You can get all 3 audiobooks until Saturday for just $5. So $4.99, you get all 5 audiobooks. That's cheaper than the ebook is right now from the Kindle store. So really, really awesome deal. I'm excited to do it. And I have the link for that in the description of this video on Facebook right now. And then it's also on a Facebook post that I made earlier in my group Beyond the Pages and on my regular Facebook page. So that link will take you to a private page where you can actually buy this bundle. It's $5, and you get an email from BookFunnel as soon as you complete the transaction, and they'll give you the links where you can go to grab your books. It's just really cool. I know I'm kind of nerding out, and some of you guys maybe don't care about this, but as an author, it's really exciting. And as a reader, I also think it's really exciting because audiobooks, one of the biggest barriers for audiobooks, if you weren't one of those Audible subscribers who still is paying $15 a month just to get one book, you now have this opportunity where that barrier has kind of gone away, and you can start spending, $5, $10 to get a book or multiple books from authors that are doing deals like this. And it's the same book. It's the same quality file. It's not a different audio version that you would get from Audible. It's not like that version is any better. This is just coming direct from the author. So I'm not going to ramble and rant anymore about that, but it's really exciting. A lot of authors are doing it. So if you're interested in any of that, again, you can jump over to my website and you can see all the Lance books that I have available, or you can click that link and get that special deal for $5 until Saturday, I think, is when that is coming down. So if you have any friends that are interested in it, or they want to give it a shot, please let them know about it as well. I want to share the love, but I am only advertising it to Facebook fans and my mailing list. So just as a thank you to you guys. So hope some of you will take advantage of that. It's really, really cool. And let me know what you think if you go through the process. Stephanie says, who's reading it? All of my Lance books have been narrated by a gentleman named Joe Cliff Thompson. He is superb. He's done a great job with Lance over the last, I guess, 4 years. He's actually doing the narration from my most recent one, Dark Holiday. I actually emailed him this weekend, catching up a little bit, and he's almost finished with that. So it's coming along. I'm really excited to hear his audio version of that. So, this is the other cool thing, talking about being able to sell the audiobooks directly. One of the other things that's been an issue recently with audiobooks, primarily with Audible, is they are so backlogged. They're very delayed ever since, the pandemic hit for some reason, and kind of leading up to the pandemic. They've been very delayed. I've talked about this before in the past, so I don't want to, beat a dead horse, but I could submit, it's not just me, lots of authors are having this problem. You submit your book, the files, for publication to Audible, and it can take 2-3 months from the time you hit that submit button. Hey, here's my book, please make it available for sale, between then and when the book actually goes live for sale on Amazon and Audible. The other stores don't seem to be having a problem, like Apple and Google, Nook, Kobo, and the library systems. Those seem to be pretty fast, still within a couple of days, sometimes a week or two at the most. Audible's taken forever. So now with having the full rights and being able to share these books other ways and not being locked into that, I may be able to offer you guys the new audiobook, if that's something you're interested in, directly from my site, before it's even live on any of the other stores. So if you follow me and you know when the updates are, you can basically get the book probably before anybody else and probably at a better price than some of the bigger stores. So it's really fun. As an author, I'm excited, and as a reader, I'm also pretty excited to see how the future of audio shapes up. But anyway, I think that is it. Again, if you need to look for any of this stuff, my books, my podcast, my YouTube page, where you can get the audiobooks, where you can get any Lance Brody merchandise, whatever, the links to all of it is in the description of this video, so check it out. And I think that is everything that I have to say tonight. So that's it. I will also mention that I don't know for sure that I will be able to do a Facebook Live next week. I'm going to try to squeeze one in at some point. And then the following Monday, there's also some stuff going on that makes it a little iffy, but I'm going to try to squeeze these in when I can. It may not be on a Monday night, but I'll definitely let you guys know what's happening beforehand, so you don't just show up and I'm not here, because that would be rude. It's like getting stood up for a date. Anyway, I'll let you know, but I'm going on vacation for a little bit, and then I got some other stuff the following week. So we'll see what happens, but I do want to thank you guys as always for watching and hanging out with me this evening. It's always fun. And, thanks for your support. I will wrap this up the same way I always do. Appreciate everything you guys do for me. And if you have read any of my books and you want to do me a huge favor, if you could jump over to Amazon and leave a review saying you like the books, I would greatly appreciate it. Reviews go a really long way in helping authors. Don't just do it for me. Do it for anybody that you read. I promise you they will enjoy it and appreciate it. So thanks again, guys. Take care, and we'll talk soon. Bye.